Hi friends, welcome back to your practice. I am Katie Arnold and today we're going to do something a little bit different. Now, if you've seen any kind of yoga sculpt or maybe taken yoga sculpt classes before, we are going to do that together. So for today's class, we're going to really focus on building strength, and we're going to do it with a very light weight. So the lightest weights that I have in my house are 5 pounds. If you happen to have a lighter weight available to you, I highly suggest it. If you don't have any weights at all, you could grab some soup cans or something, water bottles even, that are filled with water as a way to just kind of add a little bit of weight. If you don't have anything at all, it's still going to be a great class to do, and you can just use your body weight. So for this class, if you have weights, go ahead and grab them. And if not, I'll meet you on the mat. All right, friends, for this class, we will get started in a child's pose. So go ahead and bring those big toes to touch, knees out nice and wide, and sink your hips down towards your heels, forehead coming down onto the mat, arms stretched out, palms pressing down, and just let yourself settle in, connecting with your breath, connecting with how you feel in this moment, right here, right now, noticing what you may need, thinking about why you showed up on your mat today, what you hope to get out of this practice. Just settle in. Become aware. Knowing that this practice won't necessarily be easy. And so it becomes even more important to tap into what feels good, and knowing that if at any point the weights don't feel good in your body, I highly, highly, highly ask you to let that part of the practice go. You can still get a great flow without adding in the extra weight. So what does your body need? A couple more breaths. Connect to that inhale and exhale, in and out through the nose. Trying to quiet the mind, letting go of your today, your to-do list for the day, your agenda, and seeing if for the length of this class, can you just be right here, knowing you're doing something great for your mind, body, and soul. One more breath in. On your exhale, start to walk your hands over towards the right side of your mat, getting a nice side body stretch. If you want a little bit more, placing that left hand on top of the right, feeling that stretch through the entire right side body. Still thinking about keeping those heel or those sit bones pulling down towards the heels. Inhale, coming back through to center, and exhale to get over to the other side. Maybe getting a little bit deeper in that side body stretch by letting that right hand come on top of the left. Starting to notice how the body's feeling right now. Inhale, coming back up through center. Stay and enjoy the breath out. Let your inhale pull you up to a neutral tabletop position. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Spine is nice and long here. And inhale, drop your belly. Lift your gaze, coming through your cow pose. Exhale, belly button to spine, chin to chest for cat. Inhale through cow, heart shines forward, gaze is forward. Exhale through cat, spine rounds, pulling towards the ceiling. Inhale through cow, heart shines forward. Exhale through cat, really pull that belly button in. Move a couple more times with your breath. Really think about connecting your breath with your movement. So the pace that your breath and your body are moving, maybe lingering in your cat or your cow a little bit longer because it feels really good in the body. Maybe adding some additional movements in this cat and cow, a sway of the hips, gazing over one shoulder or the other. Meeting back in our neutral tabletop position, curl those toes under and go ahead and send the hips high, finding your downward facing dog, our first down dog of class. So maybe pedaling out those heels, bending one knee, bending the other. Walking out this downward facing dog. And again, starting to warm up the backs of the legs, getting into those hamstrings. We really want this body to be nice and warmed up before we add in those weights. And start to find a little bit of stillness here, maybe bringing a slight bend or a big bend to those knees if the hamstrings or the low back are feeling really tight. And then think about pressing your chest back towards your thighs. Grounding down through those hands and those feet. Heels are pulling down towards the mat, though they don't need to touch. We're just moving in that direction. Inhale, come up onto your toes. Exhale, bend your knees, gaze forward, and start to walk to the top of your mat. We'll find a forward fold and take a couple breaths to just hang here. You might let those arms hang down heavy. You might grab onto opposite elbows. Might feel nice to take a few sways side to side. And really let that head be heavy. So don't try to hold on to anything here. Rooting down through all four corners of your feet to keep yourself stable and grounded. One more breath in. Exhale, release any bind you may have taken. Heel toe those feet back to hips with distance. Press your hands into your shins. Inhale, take a halfway lift, long spine, flat back. Exhale and fold. We'll do that again. Inhale, halfway lift, crown of your head pulls towards the front of the space. Exhale, fold forward. One more time. Inhale, halfway lift, pull that core in tight. Exhale and fold. Root down through those feet. Inhale, stand all the way up, sweeping the arms up overhead. Exhale, let your hands come down through heart center. Inhale, arms reach up high. Grabbing onto that left wrist, take a gentle side body stretch over towards the right. Creating a nice little crescent shape here. Inhale, reaching back up high. Exhale, grabbing onto the opposite wrist, take it over to the other side. Inhale, coming back up through center. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, up halfway. Exhale, fingertips to the mat. Step those left toes back. Keep that right foot forward. Soften that left knee down onto the mat. And hands can just stay right here, framing this right foot today. So we're lunging into that right knee. Right knee is tracking over that right ankle. Feeling a really nice opening through that left hip. Take a breath in. And a breath out. Keep that left hand down. Inhale, reach that right arm high, taking a nice low lunging twist. Stay for your breath out. One more inhale, reaching up through those right fingertips. And exhale, plant that right hand down. Step back to a high plank. Creating a nice solid foundation in this plank, pressing the mat away with both hands. Strong core. And create that nice long line from the crown of the head through the heels of those feet. Big breath in. Big breath out. Another inhale. And exhale. One more breath in. Exhale, lower all the way down onto your belly. Bring the tops of your feet down onto the mat. Pull those elbows in close to the side of the body. Next, inhale, head lifts, chest lifts, baby cobra. So feel those elbows in close. Very little weight in those hands. You can almost hover them off the mat. Maybe you even do for a breath or two. Gaze is forward and down, so no strain in your neck. Legs are active, toenails pressing into your space. One more inhale. Exhale, lower down. Inhale up through your tabletop. Exhale, back downward facing dog. Beautiful. Breath in. Breath out. Inhale, come up onto your toes. Exhale, bend your knees and travel to the top of your mat. You can step or hop depending on what's in your practice. Inhale, up halfway. Exhale and fold. Inhale, stand all the way up, sweeping the arms up overhead. Exhale, hands down through heart center. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale and fold. Inhale, up halfway. Exhale, fingertips down, right toes step back this time and soften that right knee down onto the mat. Hands framing that left foot. Really lunging into that left knee, but don't let the knee come past the toes. Sending your breath down into those hips, those places of tightness. For me, that is especially the front of that right hip. And keep the breath going. Keep that right hand down. Inhale, reach that left arm up, taking that twist. Engaging that core, finding some strength, some stability. One more breath in. Exhale, that left hand plants, and we all meet in our high plank. I'm going to talk us through our first chaturanga, creating our little vinyasa flow. Now, if chaturanga is not in your practice today, you are welcome to lower to your belly, take our baby cobra instead of a full up dog, and know that we'll all meet in downward facing dog. So from this high plank, inhale, shift forward slightly. Exhale, lower halfway down, keeping those elbows in close to the side of your body. Inhale, upward facing dog, rolling over those toes, toenails pressing in, thighs are lifted. And exhale, back downward facing dog, pulling that core in, sending the hips high. Find your breath. I'm starting to take our flow here. So we're going to build the flow without the weights first, and then go back and add the weights in. So inhale, coming up onto your toes. Exhale, bend your knees, gaze forward, travel to the top of your space. Inhale, up halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Bring those big toes to touch, little space between your heels. And inhale, finding a chair pose, sinking that seat down, lifting that chest. Arms reaching up towards the ceiling, about that place where the wall meets the ceiling. And look down past those knees. Make sure you can see all 10 toes. Engage that core. And now we're going to start to find some little pulses. So take a breath in. And exhale, start to pulse your seat down. Pulsing here. Continuing to breathe. Feeling the glutes engage, the legs working here, and really rooting down through all four corners of those feet. One more breath in. Next, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, up halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, move through your chaturanga. You might hop back and find yourself in that chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, back down dog. Take a breath in and out.
Inhale, send that right leg high behind you. Exhale, step it through in between your hands, finding a low lunge. And then now we're going to inhale, sweep those arms up, finding our crescent. So building our strong foundation in these poses before we add on weights. So that back heel is lifted. My hips are square with the front of my mat. My right knee is tracked right over that ankle. My core is engaged and strong. Breath in, breath out. One more inhale. Exhale, open up warrior two. Opening those hips now to the long edge of your mat. We're looking for a heel to arch alignment with those feet. So maybe you have to heel toe that right foot in a little bit. Arms are to a T, gaze is over that front middle finger. Keep that breath flowing. Inhale up, star pose, heels in, toes out, reaching big. Exhale, goddess squat, sink that seat down, cactus those arms. Pull those shoulder blades back. This is sometimes also called horse pose, pretty much same pose here. Holding this squat, feeling those legs start to shake maybe already. Big breath in. Exhale, wide leg forward fold. All 10 toes point towards the long edge of your mat. Fingertips down. Inhale, take a halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, low lunge to the front of your space. Hands framing that right foot. Take an inhale. And exhale, move through your flow. Option to float that right leg. Breath in. Breath out. Inhale that left leg back behind you. Exhale, step it through in between your hands. Create that foundation in those legs. And inhale, arms reach up for crescent. So if you feel like you're on a tightrope here, don't be afraid to heel toe that left foot more to the left side of your mat. You want it to feel solid, like you're on railroad tracks. Breath in, breath out. One more inhale. Exhale, open up, warrior two. Relaxing those shoulders down your back. Strong foundation in those legs. One more round of breath. Inhale up for that star pose. Heels in, toes out, reach big. Exhale, goddess squat. Sink that seat down, cactus those arms. Maybe you get a couple pulses in here too. If you're up for it, you want to go for it, give it a try. One more breath in. Exhale, wide leg forward fold. Inhale for that halfway lift. Exhale, low lunge to the front. Stay for your breath in. Exhale, take your flow. All meeting back in our downward facing dog. And taking a couple breaths here, maybe finding a child's pose. Reconnecting with your breath. Reconnecting with what you need here. If you did take that child's pose, we'll meet back in our downward facing dog. So getting there however you can, you need to. Breath in, breath out. Inhale, coming up onto the toes. Exhale, bend your knees, gaze forward, travel to the top of your space. Inhale, up halfway. Exhale and fold. Those big toes touch, little space between your heels. Grab those weights and inhale, chair pose. Hands come right to heart center. So we're not keeping those arms up overhead with these weights. We're keeping them right at heart center. And just start to pulse. Don't forget about that breath. Keep it going. Your pulses don't have to match your breath, but you shouldn't stop breathing. Keep that core engaged. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a breath in. Exhale and fold. Release those weights. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, move through your chaturanga flow. Meeting back, downward facing dog. Inhale that right leg back behind you. Exhale, step it through in between your hands. Grab those weights. Inhale up to crescent. Again, hands at heart center. Take a breath in. Exhale, lower those arms all the way down by your side. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. 2, lift and lower. Lift and lower, getting in these nice bicep curls. Last one. Inhale, bring those hands to heart center. Exhale, opening up. Warrior 2. From this warrior 2, extend those arms down. I'm going to flip around so you guys can see me a little bit better here. So my palms are facing in towards my body, holding this warrior 2 in our legs, and we're just going to upright row. 2, 3, 4, 5, and lower. Hands come to heart center. And then start to press those arms up, finding our star pose. Exhale, goddess squat. Bringing those weights down to shoulder level. Press it up to star. Exhale, lower goddess. 3, 4, 5. Lowering down into your goddess squat. 1 breath in. Exhale, wide leg forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, low lunge to the front of your mat. I'm just moving myself around again. Take a breath in. Exhale, take your flow. Breath in, breath out. Taking that on the other side. Inhale, send that left leg back behind you. Exhale, step it through. Grab those weights. Inhale up to crescent, hands at heart center. Stay for the breath out. 1 more inhale. Exhale, lower those weights down. Get ready for 5 bicep curls. Lift, lower, lift, lower. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, hands back to heart center. Exhale is that warrior 2. Hands stay at heart center. We're just building the legs here, right? Once you get there, arms down long, palms facing in. Inhale, lift and lower. Upright row and lower. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, hands to heart center. Press it up, star pose. Exhale, goddess. Weights come down to shoulder level. Press it up and down, up and down. 3, 2, 1. Breath in. Exhale, wide leg forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, low lunge to the front. Release those weights. Take a breath in. And exhale, move through your flow. Find that breath. Inhale, shift it forward to high plank. Stay for the breath out. Go ahead and lower those knees down. If you don't have weights, if you're using a can of soup or water bottles, you are not going to do these renegade rows. Instead, I want you to do shoulder taps, tapping opposite shoulders. If you have weights, you're going to bring them to shoulder width distance. Press those hands down into those weights. Step it back to that high plank. All right, and I like to widen out my feet a little bit more. We want to try and keep the hips from swaying around too much. So take a breath in and out. Inhale, roll that right arm up and down, left and down, right, left. 3, left on each side, 2. Remember, you're doing shoulder taps if you don't have weights. And lower those knees down. Go ahead and roll those weights off to the side. And then either coming up back up onto your toes, finding that plank position, or coming down onto your knees. We just have 5 push-ups. Take a breath in. Exhale, lower. Press it up. Lower, up. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, come back to that plank. Stay for the breath out. One more inhale. Exhale, lower down onto your belly. Tops of your feet to the mat. Inhale up, baby cobra. Find that breath. Exhale, lower down. Stack those hands. Rest your forehead on stacked hands. Release the breath. And then lift up, move those weights out of the way. We are done with them for this practice. And then we're going to extend that right arm out by your side. And then start to bring the right cheek, right ear down on the mat. Press that, or bring that left hand underneath the left shoulder. Press into that hand and start to roll onto that right hip. You can stack your legs. You can take that left leg, bend it, and plant the left foot behind the right leg, getting a nice stretch in the shoulder. If you need a little bit more, you can first roll back down onto your belly, cactus that right arm, and then find your shoulder stretch. If this is too much, just roll out a little bit until you find a spot that you're getting a good stretch, but you're not taking it too far. And coming back down onto your belly, we'll take it over to the other side. So that left arm comes out long, left cheek down, right hand underneath the shoulder. Start to roll onto that left hip and maybe bending that right knee, planting that right foot behind, using that right hand as like a little kickstand here to help hold you. Again, noticing if this is too much and backing off, or if it's not enough, maybe taking that cactus arm. And rolling back down, kneeling back on your belly. One more time, stacking hands, resting shoulder or forehead on stacked hands. Relaxing the hips, the legs. And then we are just going to flip over like we're a pancake. So just flipping yourself over so you are on your back. Extend those legs out long. Reaching those arms up overhead. We have 5, I call them starfish. There might be another name for them, but I call them starfish. So we're in this little star shape on our back. We're gonna take a breath in. Exhale, pull everything together like you're coming into a little beach ball. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bring it in. Extend. And in. Extend. 2 more. Extend it out. Last one. And out. And then we have a little tricky one. We're just going to roll ourselves all the way up and maybe come right into a boat pose. If you need to set yourself up first, plant those feet on the mat. Lean back till you feel that core engagement. Find your boat pose. If that's heels planted on the mat, that works. If it's shins parallel, that's great too. Hands can rest behind your thighs or reach forward. We're here for 5 full breaths. One more inhale. Exhale, lower all the way down. Plant your feet on the mat, knees up towards the ceiling. Extend those arms long by your side, and you want to almost be able to tickle those ankles with your fingertips. We're going to take some dynamic bridge poses. So pressing into those feet, tuck that tailbone. Inhale, lift the hips, lift the arms up overhead. Exhale and lower down. Inhale, lift, extending the arms high. Exhale and lower. 3 more like that. Move with your breath. Last 2. Last 1. And now keep those arms long by your side, palms pressing down into the mat. Tuck that tailbone, press into those feet. Inhale, lift up, bridge pose. Engaging those glutes, lifting up through the hip points. We're here for 5 breaths. Feel those active thighs. Final breath in. Exhale, slowly lower. Once those hips hit, windshield wiper the knees, side to side. Keep that left foot down, cross that right ankle over the left thigh, finding your figure 4 stretch. Staying here or reaching for the back of the left thigh. Flexing both toes. Help protect your knees, and then you get to choose how much or how deep you take this stretch. The more that you hug this entire leg package in towards the body, the greater that stretch will be. If you need a little bit less, then you back out and maybe you keep that left foot planted. And keeping this figure 4 position in the legs, just first release that left foot back down to the mat. Bring those arms out to a T. Slide the hips a little bit more over towards the right, and then let those legs drop over to the left, planting that right foot on your mat. So you get this nice IT band stretch along with your twist. And then maybe the gaze comes over the right shoulder. And gently rolling back onto your back. Unwinding those legs, planting that right foot down, crossing that left ankle over the right thigh, finding your figure 4 stretch on the other side. So if you happen to do the other side the first time, then just make sure you get the opposite side. And then you can stay here or reach for the back of the right thigh. Again, flexing both toes. And deciding how deep you take this stretch. Sending that breath into the hips. Letting it create a little bit more space. Keeping that figure 4 position, bring that right foot down to the mat, arms out to a T. Hips slide a little bit over to the left, and then roll so that left foot plants on the mat. You're on the outer edge of that right thigh, and you can gaze over that left shoulder if it feels okay. If it doesn't feel good in the neck, then just gaze up towards the ceiling. Again, using your breath here. Maybe it helps take you a little bit deeper. And maybe it helps you to know if you've taken this far enough. And rolling back onto your back. Unwinding those legs, bring both knees into your chest, slide your hands underneath your hips, and then extend the legs straight up towards the ceiling, finding a legs up the wall variation where we don't actually need the leg, or we don't actually need the wall, we need the legs. We don't need the wall here. Flex those toes as if you're making footprints on the ceiling. Having our hands underneath our hips, underneath that tailbone, just help take some of the work out of this pose. So that way we don't need to go find a spot on the wall. We don't need to transport ourselves. But we can still soak in all the benefits of this amazing posture. Of course, if you're near a wall, you are welcome to move yourself there if you want to. And bringing your knees into your chest. Take those hands out from underneath your hips. Wrap your arms around your shins. Bring your nose to your knees. Maybe take a few gentle rocks side to side. Curl up into a tiny little ball. One final breath in. Exhale to your Shavasana. Legs out long, arms out long. Finding rest. Take a nice cleansing breath. Let that breath be easy now. Let it be natural. Maybe closing your eyes. If you're not comfortable with that though, then just find a spot to let your gaze rest here. Allowing yourself to find some stillness, some rest, some peace, some quiet. Hopefully in both mind and body.
invite you to first start noticing your breath. Maybe lengthening the inhale, lengthening the exhale, and then inviting in some movement, a wiggle of the fingers and toes, rolling the wrists and the ankles, gently taking yourself out of your Shavasana, bringing you back to this present moment on your mat. Might feel nice to take a big good morning stretch, reaching long from your fingertips to your toes. Rolling over onto your favorite side, finding a fetal position. Just hanging here for a moment. Supporting yourself. Feeling the support of the earth beneath you. And gently pressing yourself up to an easy seat. Hands can rest on your knees. Palms facing up if you're ready to receive, palms facing down. To acknowledge your need for a little bit more grounding and anchoring. Hands can also always come to heart center. Signaling gratitude for yourself for this practice. Thank you all so much for joining me. Namaste. Hi friends, I'm just popping back in here real quick to ask you to please subscribe to my channel if you're not already. Like this video, comment below, and if there's something specific that you want to see, let me know that as well. Go find me on Instagram at I am Katie Arnold, and I would love to bring a class just for you.